Good morning, friends. This session is dedicated to all language lovers, and today we will be discussing about four sequence of tenses. They are also known as interlinked, clauses. First of all, you may ask, sir, what do you mean by a clause? Yes, a clause is a part of a sentence having subject and predicate of its own, having some meaning but not a complete meaning, because sometimes what happens that a clause remains meaningless unless it is being supplemented by another clause. Let us see the sentence, if you come. Now this is a clause, if you come or if you come to me. This is now incomplete. If you come to me, what? I will go with you. So if you come with me or if you come to me is the first clause, that is subordinate clause. I will go with you is main clause. यदि आप मेरे साथ आओगे तो मेरे पास आओगे तो मैं आपके साथ जाऊंगा. If you come to me, I will go with you. So you see these two clauses. If you come to me, starting with if subordinating clause, and the second one is main clause. I will go with you. Now let us talk about main clause and subordinate clause. Main clause is an independent clause. It does not depend upon any other clause for its meaning. For example, again I said clause has a subject and predicate. What is subject? Subject is the doer of the action. Like if you say I will go to market, so I is the subject and leaving subject all other will go to the market is predicate. Subject को छोड़ करके बाकी सारे words predicate होते हैं, उसमें main verb का होना जरूरी है. For a part of a sentence to be a clause, it is very important that it should have a subject and a finite verb. बिना सब्जेक्ट और फाइनाइट वर्ब का कोई क्लॉज नहीं हो सकता. क्लॉज में जरूरी है कि सब्जेक्ट हो और फाइनाइट वर्ब. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ यू से दैट unless you work hard. Now this is a clause. Unless you work hard is one clause. You will not succeed. The second clause. You will not succeed is the main clause because it is independent. It doesn't depend upon the first one. But unless you work hard is not independent. It depends upon you will not succeed. Unless you work hard, you will not succeed. Unless you work hard is starting with the conjunction unless and stating a condition. So it is an adverbial clause of condition that is also known as subordinate clause. So there are two types of clauses, subordinate clause and main clause. Though there is a third clause also that is coordinate clause. Let us now know the importance of these clauses. First of all, you ask, sir, what is the function of these clauses? These clauses work to enhance the meaning of a statement, particularly a complex sentence. A complex sentence is made of at least two clauses, main clause and subordinate clause. A compound sentence is also made of main clause and coordinating clause. So no complex sentence can be formed without two clauses. At least there should be two clauses. One is the main clause, another one is subordinating clause. Now the function of this sequence, let us see. There are four sequences that we often speak and we write in good spoken and written English. We need these parts of clauses or interlinked statements or interlinked clauses. For example, we always see that the people commit mistake. They start using two future tense in the same sentence, which is wrong. Whenever you use two clauses, and if you are stating something which is likely to be true in a real situation, or it may be a fact, or it may be a scientific statement, never use two future tense. Use either the two clauses in simple present or one in simple present, another in simple future. For example, if it rains, I will not go out. यदि बारिश होती है तो मैं बाहर नहीं जाऊंगा. If it rains is in simple present, I will not go out in simple future. So both these clauses are interlinked. बारिश यदि होती है, in case it rains, I will not go out. So what is the condition that you will not go out? In case it rains. So the two clauses and the two tenses are simple present followed by simple future. Sometimes when you are stating a scientific fact, you have to use simple present followed by simple present. For example, if you mix salt with water, if you mix salt with water, it is simple present. If we mix salt with water, it dissolves. So the second one is also simple present. So when you are stating a scientific fact, and when you are explaining something to the children, or when you are discussing with your friends about any scientific fact, then you can use simple present followed by simple present. For example, if you switch on the fan, it starts moving. Both are simple present. If you do exercise, you get strength. If you follow COVID appropriate behavior, you can save yourself. If you, make sure that you are not committing mistake, you get appreciated. If you work hard, you succeed. If you be sincere, you are always safe. If you are careless, you are going to be unsafe. So such facts and scientific statements will be expressed in the two clauses, simple present followed by simple present. Another one is that if one action depends upon the other action, if the happening of the first action depends upon the happening of the other action, then definitely one will be simple future, another will be simple present. Like, if you help me, I will help you. If you help me is in simple future, I will help you in simple. If you help me is in simple present, and I will help you in simple future. But two future cannot go together. People generally commit mistake. They say, if you will help me, I will help you. That is wrong. Two future cannot be in the same sentence. So say like that. If you help me, I shall help you, or I will help you. If you come to me, I will go with you. If you come to me, simple present, I will go with you. The second, sequence is that when you are using something like in an imagination, or like some dream like that, then some statement which is very unlikely to be true in a real situation, then use simple past followed by subject plus would, could, should plus V1 plus object. Like, if I were a king, that is an imagination. If I were a king, I would do everything for my citizens. If I were a king, if I won, this is always simple past. If I won a lottery, I would be rich. If I own a palace, I would invite my friends to have a party there. If I had a palace. So this is something which you are imagining, which is not going to be true in a real situation. It is just imagination. So it will be simple past followed by subject plus would, should, could, might plus V1 plus subject plus complement. Like, if I were a bird, यदि मैं चिड़िया होता, if I were a bird, I would fly everywhere. I would. If he were in place of me, he would not do that. He might not do that. और मेरे बदले में होता तो वो ऐसा नहीं करता. If he were in place of me, he would not do that. And the third sequence is that we always use future perfect and past perfect together to have an introspection, or to have some kind of regret or rectification. Like, if I had been there, I would have talked to the Prime Minister. If I had been to the venue, I would have watched the match. If I had been to the stadium, I would have attended the meeting, or I would have attended the show. So past perfect followed by future perfect. And the last one is that when you are using two future actions at this, to be taking place at the same time in the future, one will be simple present, another will be future perfect. Like that, by the time you reach a station, your father will have reached his office. By the time you reach home, your father will have reached his office. So by the time you reach home is simple present, and your father will have reached his office is future perfect. And so simple present is always followed by future perfect. By the time you pass class 10, your sister will have passed class 12. जब तक आप class 10 पास करोगे, आपकी sister class 12 पास कर जाएगी. So that is simple present followed by future perfect. Both these actions in the future are likely to take place at the same time. Like, by the time COVID-19 ends, our economy will have suffered a lot. By the time India will get rid of this pandemic, a lot of loss would have occurred to our country. By the time we get free from this COVID-19, the academic sessions of the children would have suffered a lot. By the time we make sure of getting all the population vaccinated, a large number of population would have suffered from this virus. By the time we make arrangements of all the medical facilities, this disease COVID-19 will have disappeared. So like that, there are four types of, interlinked clauses. First one is simple present followed by simple future, or simple present followed by simple present. In the case of scientific fact, like if you switch on the fan, it starts moving. Both are simple present. If you work hard, you get success. Both are simple present. The second one I said, that simple past followed by subject plus would, could, should, might. In the case of dream or imagination, like if I were the prime minister of the country, if I were the prime minister, I would do this, I would do that. So, or I might do this, I should do that. So always it will be simple past followed by subject plus would, should, could plus V1 plus subject plus complement. Another one said that there will be future perfect and there will be past perfect. Like if it had rained in time, the crops would not have faded. If we had taken necessary measures for tackling COVID, we would not have lost so many lives. If India had prepared for the upcoming pandemic in the year 2020, the country would not have suffered so much. So like that we can have sentences and interlinked clauses, because in case of introspection and regret also we use future perfect followed by past perfect. Like if I had not committed that mistake, I would not have suffered to that extent. If I had been little careful, I would not have been in a great loss. If I had been meticulous to my work, I would not have lost the opportunity of getting that project. Like that. So always there is a past perfect followed by future perfect. Like had it rained in time, the crops would not have faded. Had it been our well prepared project, we would not have suffered a lot. Had India taken timely actions against COVID-19, the people of our country would not have suffered to that extent. So this is what I just wanted to explain to the children about the common uses of clauses and interlink statements. Thank you. Have a nice day. This is Eddie Singh on the channel Aging.